Welcome to Business Prowess with Rafael and Juanita. Our show will bring you the best insights, ideas, and inspiration from successful entrepreneurs and CEOs in the business world. We'll talk to experts and business leaders. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn from the best and stay ahead of the game. Sifu Rafael is the founder of 5 unique shows. He's a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. Juanita Cap is a public speaker who was in the ministry for 15 years. She has extensive knowledge of various topics such as leadership and communication, and has emceed many executive and academic events. Juanita is the founder of 2 unique shows. Her life motto is never give up.
Well, hello, Juanita. How are you? I don't know why that finished. That should not have finished. Hang on a second. What happened here? Let me take a quick look.
Welcome to Business Prowess with Rafael and Juanita. Our show will bring you the best insights, ideas, and inspiration from successful entrepreneurs and CEOs in the business world. We'll talk to experts and business leaders. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn from the best and stay ahead of the game. Sifu Rafael is the founder of 5 unique shows. He's a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. Juanita Cap is a public speaker who was in the ministry for 15 years. She has extensive knowledge of various topics such as leadership and communication, and has emceed many executive and academic events. Juanita is the founder of 2 unique shows. Her life motto is never give up.
There we go. Hey, listen, first time doing it. We had a little glitch, but we are here. Launch party. Wow. I am so thrilled, Juanita.
Me too. We are so excited. We did the intro twice just to spoil everyone. I mean, it is a party, right? How are you, Sifu? It's so great to be with you.
I am exceptional. And what I love to say is that I'm getting better every day. Ask me tomorrow. I hope to be better tomorrow because of everything I'm doing today. I am super excited to launch this amazing show with you. We have some amazing people joining us today for our launch party. We definitely have Jonathan Ellis, but I want to talk to you a quick second before we bring him on about what this show is about. I think we want to talk about the entrepreneur, the person who starts a business, the person who wants to create something for the world to make it a better place. So we're going to talk about banking. We're going to talk about every aspect of running a business, starting a business, generations, market research, funding, legal considerations, growth strategies, marketing, how to share, how to get customers. I am super excited. What are your thoughts, my dear?
Absolutely. Now, I was thinking as I was driving this afternoon that there's this saying, too many cooks spoil the broth. And I thought to myself, that's not the same when we are in the business world, because too many entrepreneurs don't spoil the goal or don't spoil the vision. We network, we collaborate, we form convergence, and therefore, we can create something bigger and better. And that's why I love the fact that we're going to talk to so many different entrepreneurs, so many different business owners, because we are going to learn from each other. We are going to scale and grow, and every day and every show is going to be amazing. So super excited to join you on here, Sifu. And it's just been a wonderful journey meeting you a few months ago through the CLA. And I'm very excited to see what will transpire during the course of this Business Prowess podcast.
You know what I think is going to happen, Juanita? People are going to launch new businesses because of what we're doing.
Yes, that's what we want.
People are going to make more money. People are going to think differently, because when we put our minds together and we bring experts in, their opinions, their ideas are going to generate wealth, right? Wealth for fitness and wealth for knowledge.
Yes. Absolutely. And you know what's very interesting to me, Sifu, as I've been in the entrepreneurial space, everything overlaps.
Mm,
Everything overlaps. There's some touch point at some place. It's not that we are in different boxes in business. We overlap in so many areas. Health and fitness overlaps with many other topics as well. Personal empowerment,
right.
business and personal discipline. So it's just amazing to see that development. It's amazing to see when fresh ideas come to the fore. You know, entrepreneurs are visionaries. We are the people that wake up in the morning and say, well, I guess I'm going to make the world a better place today. Let's get going. And I
Yeah.
love spending time with people that have that vision and that goal and that have that passion.
Well, I think there is somebody waiting to come on. I
Yes.
think that person who is a visionary is
Mhm.
Jonathan Ellis. Let's go ahead and bring him on.
Woo!
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for
Good
joining
morning.
us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you. We want to know why it's so important for you to think about business daily.
It's important for me to think about business daily for the main purpose that in 4 days, I will hit my 20th birthday of my very first company launch. We're 4 days away from being 20 years old.
Nice.
So that has truly been the way that I have always taken care of my family for my entire adult life. So, always looking to grow, always looking to get better, always looking to stay ahead of the curve in everything we do is so instrumental in success in business as well as just overall growth.
Yeah, love it, love it. So
Exactly.
tell us what's the name of that business that in 4 days is going to be 20 years. That's sustainable, my friend.
It's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. The name of that business is Cleancrete. It is a commercial services business where we offer pressure washing, we offer painting, and we are based in Atlanta, Georgia. However, if my memory serves me correct, I think we have serviced 17 different states
That's all?
across America. That's all.
Wow.
So
Love
yeah,
it.
it's been fun. It's been fun.
Nice, nice. What's
Absolutely.
one of the things, if you don't mind me asking, when you started that business, what were some of the challenges that you faced?
The biggest challenge was lack of knowledge. When I
Mm,
started that business, I was 19. So I knew everything there was to know about everything at
right,
19 years old. You couldn't tell me
That's
anything because I already knew it. I had previously worked for another service-based business, and I knew what to do because of working there until I started my own business. And then I
mm,
realized I really knew almost nothing.
right.
So the biggest challenge that I had was just having to go in and do everything really on my own because I didn't have that leadership. I didn't have that guidance because as soon as I went into the same business of the style of business that I was working for, that kind of fell off. So
Mm,
he was only willing to help me so much.
Mm.
Yet, I just had to keep pushing forward and make things happen. Figure
uh,
it out on my own, unfortunately. And that's the most challenging way to do it.
yes, yes. So tell
Absolutely.
me, what is thoughtprovokingchange.com? What is that all about?
Thought provoking change is my passion. As I said, we've been doing Cleancrete for 20 years now. And it really got to the point of where all I was doing was chasing the money.
Mm,
And I swore I would never work a job just for money. And so about 2 years ago, I was at a mastermind and I was in the hot seat. And the person in charge, the person that facilitated it, he asked me, he said, Jonathan, are you happy? And we were talking business, of course. I said, no, I'm not. He said,
mm,
are you fulfilled? I said, no. So I started really looking at my life. I started looking at business to see what it was that could change and where my life really needed to be. As I was sitting in that conference, it hit me almost like God screaming down to me from the heavens saying, Jonathan, this is it. This is what you're to do. You know, just take your 20 years of business experience. Well, at that point, about 18, take your 18 years of business experience, the fact that you have 6 kids.
By the way, congratulations. That's a business by itself.
It definitely, that's 6 businesses by itself.
That's right.
Thank you. And 9 years ago, I was certified as a life coach. Now, the reason that came to be is because at the time I was going through a divorce and I could not figure out, I mean, life had just fell apart. You know, you get married and you stay there, you stay married until death do you part. So that was really challenging. And I will never forget when I was talking with the facilitator of the coaching group. He said, "Why are you here, Jonathan?" I said, "Selfishly." He said, "Okay, what's that mean?" I said, "My life is falling apart and I'm looking for help in any way I can get it. So that's why I'm here." Amazing. How little did I know that would change the course of my life 7 years after that fact. Wow. So I started working with that, and I've gotten certified in so many other things. I'm working on yet another certification now. However, it's just to learn and grow, not just taking my experiences, which are vast, and pouring them into other people for growth, but also the certifications in, you know, life coaching and things of that nature. So that's where thought-provoking change came to be from. It started out as a one-on-one coaching, and then I said, you know what? Let's build a community. I'm in several communities. We're all in one of the same communities. And I live by the rule of dance somebody else's dance until you have a dance of your own. So I actually met with the leader of the group that we're in and said, "Hey, look, here is what I'm thinking." And he gave me some pointers and said, "Here's how you do it." And so I really started pouring in. And now Juanita's on some of the calls with us behind the scenes with Thought Provoking Change, because it's a joy and an honor to say she is part of the team of Thought Provoking Change.
Nice.
So there are many things that we're looking to do to make it our own dance. You know, we already offer some things that others don't, yet we're always looking to grow and expand and do things that others don't so that people can get more from this community or something different. Because, you know, communities are great and there's not a one size fits all. Yeah. So that's where Thought Provoking Change came from. It's really a passion of mine.
Love it. You know, I want to personally thank you. And I know we just basically met, and I definitely want us to have a connection for sure. But here's the thing. Today is a special day, I think, for all of us, because we are talking about something that we're all passionate about. But we have other guests who said, we want to be part of this community, and I love it. So we're going to go ahead and bring everybody on. They're going to say a quick hello. We're going to give everybody a chance to come in through with 5 minutes. I know that Marianne is going to have us do a little bit of meditation. Yay. Yvette is going to talk to us. Alkarim is going to talk to us. Jim is going to talk to us. Anybody else who is an entrepreneur, a coach, you're more than welcome to join us through the chat. And if we think it's worth it, we want you on the show, not just for 5 minutes, but the show is going to be 45 minutes every Friday. Right. So, Juanita, would it be okay if we bring everybody on?
Oh, I would love to see all those beautiful faces. Let's get them on here so we can celebrate them. Marianne, Yvette, Alkarim, and Jim. Love you all and welcome everyone.
Cheers.
Absolutely. So here we are in our first and we have Jonathan here. And we are celebrating each and every one of you as an entrepreneur. I was thinking as Jonathan was speaking,
hang on a second. I'm gonna stop you for a second. There's too much sound going on. So do me a favor. Everybody, because you may be looking at it on a different stream, it's coming through. Awesome. So you need to mute all your other streams. And as a professional podcaster, I do have 5 shows. That's one of the most important things that we have to do, because otherwise it sounds like everybody's talking at the same time. So if we can, we will all speak at one time. And Juanita, I apologize. I know you were saying some incredible stuff. So would you mind going ahead?
Let's
And then
continue.
once we introduce you, then you can go for it. Thank you.
Awesome. Love that. Jonathan, as you were speaking about, becoming an entrepreneur, being 19, feeling like you knew everything, finding out you in fact didn't, that was a learning curve for you. And I'm delighted to say that I'm so proud of you for everything that you're doing in your business, in your family life with thought-provoking change, because I see that you facilitate that learning curve for others now, and that is commendable. So for anyone here, let's start with Marianne. Do you have something that you want to comment on for Jonathan on what he said, or maybe do you have a question for him before we go into your section?
I think, Jonathan, first of all, happy birthday, 20 years. That's quite an achievement.
Thank you.
And 6 kids. What? That's a huge, or even, if that's even a word, accomplishment. So happy birthday and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Marianne.
Yeah, you're awesome. And we actually did have a meeting in a chat, and he's wonderful. Jonathan is so amazing. And for sure that Jonathan did not make it to 20 years of entrepreneurship and then now starting an additional business without doing some sort of self-care. Am I right?
That's absolutely right.
Right. Absolutely and right. So also he had to be confident in making decisions really quick, sharp mind, and so when you have that early morning routine or evening or both routines, it's like mind fitness is equally as important as physical fitness. So I'm going to talk about mind fitness. So
can we do that in a little bit? We want to just hear from everybody. Sure. Thank you. Why don't we go ahead and Yvette, and just, if you have a question for Jonathan, either me or Juanita, please go ahead. And then we're going to give everybody about 5 minutes, okay?
Yes.
Yvette? Okay, we're going to jump over to Al-Karim.
Hey, thank you for having me here. And Jonathan, that was a great introduction.
Thank you so much.
Again, I think I'm not going to repeat myself of saying, I don't know how you do it with 6. I have 2, and that's challenging enough. So congratulations on both the business on the family side. I guess my question to you is, if you were to start all over again, what is one thing that you would do, and what is one thing that you wouldn't do?
Well, I am kind of starting all over again, because every new business is just that. It is a new business. So, Al-Karim, that was a phenomenal question. Just like when they ask, what were some of the challenges? I went at it by myself. Something that I have done totally different with thought-provoking change is I have built a team behind me. We have some amazing people. Like I said, Juanita is one of them, and there are some other people that are on the team with us, as well as the very first thing I did before anybody ever heard the name, truth be told, before the name was even picked out, I hired a consultant to help me lay the groundwork and lay the foundation. So thought-provoking change is rolling out slowly, and it's very intentional and very methodical. The reason that we're doing that is because we have built a foundation, and I don't know your religious beliefs. I personally am a Christian, and the Bible talks about building on a firm foundation. And that is what we're doing with thought-provoking change. The foundation is solid as solid can be. I will tell you this, that the foundation of thought-provoking change is every bit as strong, possibly even stronger than my 20-year-old business, because we have just come in from a completely different angle. And the pillars are being built and everything. And it's not, the big bad wolf is not going to come and blow my house down. It's not going to come and blow thought-provoking change down. It's not going to happen. And forgive me, your other question was remind me one more time.
What would you not do?
So go at it by myself.
What would you do and what would you not do?
I would not go at it by myself. I would not sit here and say, I know everything. which of course I'm not 19 anymore. So I kind of realized real quick that, once you pass, I don't remember, 20, 21 years old, you just realize you don't know much. So just not going at it alone, having those people, a cord of 2 strings is almost impossible to break. 3, it is impossible to break. So I am all about the community, and not just thought-provoking change, but another thing that I am doing different, it is not about me at all. One of the things that we do that I haven't noticed any other community doing, we go popcorn style on every single chat that we have, so everybody can speak, and granted there's time for everybody on the call, but everybody's able to speak and pour into each other, because this is about us growing together. It's not about saying, look at me, no, forget all that. Forget that. Yeah. It's about seeing growth for everyone.
That's beautiful. I love the fact that you are pouring into each other. We'd love to hear from Yvette. Yvette, are you able to come on?
Yay.
Hello, Yvette.
I am. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go for it.
Oh, it's so awesome to be here with all of you. Great-minded, thought-provoking folks. I am happy to be here. I talk about change a lot. So Jonathan, your whole concept of thought-provoking change is amazing. However, I would also like to ask the question, when you think about changing from a cleaning service organization to this thought-provoking mind change organization, how did you really make that transition internally?
Again, I just looked at all of my experiences with business, with life, with my credentials, with my certifications, and I said, is this really something that I am able to do? And there's also that part that when you know that God's calling you to something more, you go for it. All questions will not be answered. There are times out of 7 days a week, there's at least 9 of them every single week that I'm saying, I have no clue what I'm doing. It happens all the time, and that's okay. And it's just about pushing forward and just knowing that God has me in the right space at the right time with the right people. This is actually something I talked about on our call Wednesday night, is the right people will be there at the right time. Whether it's growing at the rate you're looking at for it to grow or not, the right people are there at the right time. And we'd love to invite every one of you guys to join with us. You can do that at thoughtprovokingchange.com. Just take a look and you'll see everything that's offered.
Love it. Love it. Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you coming on, buddy. Right now, we'd love to have Jim come in and maybe ask a question out of, either Juanita, myself, or Jonathan. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here, and we've never met before personally, so it's great to be on the show with you. Juanita, I'm familiar with. Jonathan, I met just recently, but this could be a question for all of you. I mean, 30 years ago, I started my first company, and like Jonathan, I thought I knew everything, but I didn't know everything, and I learned quickly. But I realized that, when I had a young family, and I was pastoring at the time, I was running the company, I was doing all these things, and there was just this stretch between all the responsibilities I had. My question to whoever wants to take this on is, what would be your suggestion or your advice to young entrepreneurs or people in business, how to balance between life and business, how to balance their own life so that they can navigate through it without burnout, without the extra stress?
Great question, by the way.
I've got this.
Do me a favor, turn off your extra mics, people, because I didn't know I sounded that way. And Jonathan even said it before, just mute yourselves if you're not, if you're listening to it on somewhere else. I think that when you realize, and Jonathan spoke about it, God helps him every day. You need to ask for the higher being. You need to ask for the help, and you need to find that balance, because I'm an entrepreneur. I have several businesses. One of my businesses I started 29 years ago, but I had prior businesses to that, which I still have. So I've been in business, I don't want to give up my age, but one of the things that I want to tell you is that for anybody starting now, scheduling is key. You have to schedule everything. I mean, everything. You have to schedule time with your kids, time with your spouse, time to eat, time to work out. If you're not working out every day, you're going to die, maybe rich, but young. So don't do that. That's just my 2 cents.
Jonathan, any thoughts on this? Thank you so much, Sifu.
Yes.
Absolutely. And he's absolutely right. Having a schedule and knowing what to do, how to do it, when to do it, that is so much. Life is never going to be a perfect balance, Will. It's just not. It's impossible for everything to be in perfect balance. However, I've heard a lot of times people say, find your weaknesses and strengthen them. I personally think that's some of the stupidest advice somebody can give. Find your strengths and strengthen them and hire out your weaknesses. You know, like the team that I have behind me at Thought Provoking Change, they are amazing in every single way. And they do things that, could I do it? Sure. They do it a lot better than I do. And so it's about having the right team around you. And for somebody that's brand new in business that's listening to this, you may say, that's great, Jonathan. However, there's no funds there to do it. I understand that as well. There are ways to circumvent that, you know, possibly bring them on as a partner, offer some sort of non-monetary payment. Some people will go for it, some people won't. But you have to be creative. You have to always think to keep moving that needle and to keep advancing forward. So scheduling and focusing on your strengths and hiring out your weaknesses would be my 3 big ones.
Love it. Love it.
Beautiful.
Great question.
Beautiful. I'd like to add something. Oh, who's speaking?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yvette, you go ahead. I'll go after you. Add for us.
I would like to add, keep the main thing the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
Too often we get all these nice, shiny things that come along and it says, oh, this is a good idea. This is a good ad. It's like, okay, it might sound good. It might look great. It might be a great enhancement to your business, but put it on a shelf and make sure you have a strong foundation. You can only go strong if your foundation is strong. So keep the main thing at every tier as you're growing. And I think that's what brings long-lasting success, the legacy that we're ttrying to leave behind.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Absolutely true. And I would like to add from my side, and I'm going to ask Al-Karim as well to give us his view. For me personally, most of everyone that's on here knows me. I'm not familiar with Andrew yet, but I know Jim and Al-Karim and Yvette and Marianne and Jonathan. And, you know, for me, keep getting at it, of course. Build, scale, learn, do the things you want to do, pursue. But at that point in time where you are scaling and growing, realize that you need to stay humble, because when you stay humble, you realize that you have limits. So for me, when I realized my limits, like yesterday, I had 3 lives scheduled. I canceled 2 of them because I knew my limits. My body was speaking to me and I felt that I needed to tone it down a little bit. So I did. And what do I do? And Marianne is going to take us on a wonderful adventure with regards to that. I breathed, simple little things. I breathed and I rested and I gave myself that psychological, that physical space just to rest. And of course, what Sifu said, do martial arts, by the way. I want to add that. Do martial arts because you'll live longer and you'll have more energy. Al-Karim, what are your thoughts?
This may come a bit as an outside thought in terms of what Jim asked. And I would say it's passion. Often we get into something and we lose the passion. And when we lose the passion, then we lose the focus and the energy and everything else. And we then start working harder than we have to because our mind is not in there. Our mind is in there, but our heart is not in there. And when you're absent from your heart, then you're not doing it out of what you love, but you're doing it out of a necessity. And the struggles just become more and more difficult in that point.
Right.
If you don't have passion in what you're doing, then step back and find out and go ask yourself, why did you get into that? That may realign your passion, or it may be time to move on and do something different. Maybe within the same stream, but just slightly different, because I believe the universe also gives you some signs, and that may be just a sign to shift before it becomes a fall.
Great. Love it. Love it. You know, one of the things that I want to say hi to Andrew, because he kind of came in a little bit later, because I said some pop in after. So Andrew, what are your thoughts on if somebody start? By the way, Andrew is an amazing human being. We had a coffee the other day, and I think he has like, what, 3,000 books you've written, something like that.
But I've worked with a lot of people on their business, so.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me. This is great. I look forward to meeting everybody else on the panel and get to know you. You know, I love what you're saying. All of that makes sense. And I think, you know, one thing that brings it together is beginning with the end in mind. You know, I'd say see it before you do it. And the way you do that is you have a process of planning. So many business owners I see don't have a business plan. And you know, it doesn't have to be a daunting task. It could just be a list of bullet points, but you have to write down what you're going to do so you can think about it before you do it, so that you're organized and can focus. So, you know, failing to plan is planning to fail. So you got to take the time to plan so that you can be more focused and accomplish more in less time.
Love it. Love it. Jim, see what you did? You got everybody speaking. I love it. Nice job, Jim.
Nice job, Jim. That's great. And I love everybody's responses. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did say we're going to give everybody 5 minutes, but guess what? Because we're having such a great launch party, we may not be able to give everybody 5 minutes. So what we want to do now is give everybody maybe 2-3 minutes, so that you can share your idea, your insight, a tip that can help someone in their business, whether they're already in business for 30 years, 20 years. I'm almost, I think I started one of my businesses in 95. My other one I started in 89. Another ones I've started in between that. So for me, it's always learning. If I'm not learning, man, I might as well just go.
That's right.
Right. So, who'd like to take the panel first and just give us a tip? Just raise your hand and I'll pop you up.
I'll do it first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we may need to take the meditation like for 30 seconds if you can.
And I can do that. No problem.
Okay, perfect.
I just wanted to say the importance of having like a mind yoga in the morning and also in the evening, because it's so important to schedule time for yourself. If you can't schedule time for yourself, it's going to be a tough go. You need to take some time to clear out those cobwebs out of your head, clear out all the no's and all the rejections that you had to go through in the day. So I do meditation in the morning and I do it again at night. And it's just as important as my physical yoga. So I'm starting to call it my mind yoga in the morning. And it does help to strengthen your energy, your energetic field, which in turn makes you much more confident and also allows you to make clear and focused decisions. So I'm going to take less than a minute to do a really great meditation that will, in a very short amount of time. So if you don't have a lot of time, you can do it for a minute. If you have a bit more, 3 minutes is good. And it will actually help to calm down your entire nervous system. And it's called box breathing. And most of you are already familiar with this. So if you just sit up straight and close your eyes, you can take an inhale through your nose. And you hold it for a count of, you can, we're just going to do a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then exhale through your mouth. You're going to hold the exhale also for a count of 3. And then you're going to inhale through your nose. Also for a count of 3, and hold it. And exhale slowly. And one more inhale. Hold it. And exhale slowly. Hold the exhale. And we'll just do one more inhale. Hold it. And exhale. Open your eyes, shake it out. This will, in a minute, take you from crazy chaos into sheer calm. It will actually calm down your entire nervous system very, very quickly, and also fill your body with oxygen. And then you'll be able to carry on, because some days, let's face it, we sometimes have a hard time saying no, right? As entrepreneurs, we're frequently the cleaning ladies, the maintenance people, the accountants, the CEOs, the everything. We do a little bit of everything. And although I do agree with Jonathan, and I think it's super important to hire everything out. All of your weaknesses should be hired out. And I love that. I love that whole concept. And also, I think it's super important to make some sort of a divine, what is divine to you, as your partner. So for me, that's God. So God is my partner in everything I do. And so on that note, I'm going to say thank you and namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nicely done. Nicely done. To take somebody who maybe is stressed and just take a minute, even if you have to go into the bathroom, right, at work, just do it. Breathe, right? Or into the janitor's closet, wherever you need to go, just do it. Who'd like to go next?
Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
Yes, appreciate you.
Oh, Karim.
Oh, Karim, go ahead.
You're
on,
welcome
buddy.
to mute.
Can't hear
Sorry
you.
about that.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. As entrepreneurs, I think we are fearless. We go forward, but then at some point, I think we also are victims of ourselves, meaning that we have a limiting belief, or we are most critical of our own selves, especially when something goes wrong. And I think it's important to realize that. And often, even as coaches, we help other people come out of it, but we tend to fall into that same trap. So there are certain exercises that I find are really, really powerful to be able to constantly remind you. And one of that is a gratitude exercise. And to me, that becomes really, really important, just to write down what you're grateful for that particular day or that particular week. And that brings in that positive energy into you, raises your vibration, and makes sure that you're always in alignment with what your highest purpose is.
Love it. Love it. Finding your vibration.
True.
Yes. Who's next? Who wants to go next? Thank you, Al-Karim. We enjoyed that event.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you so much.
Yes. So what I wanted to share I teach leaders the principles of change leadership, and change leadership is not the same as running your business. And that's why I think it's so important for us to understand those principles that really help us to be focused and keeping the main thing, as I mentioned. What's that vision? How do you identify yourself in the change, what's happening? Because we don't want to be reactive. We want to really lead through that change and not be responding and change. And even when we need to respond, do we understand the source of it so we can respond in a favorable manner? So I think it's important that we identify, as Andrew said, what are the outcomes that we want to really get in our businesses, or even a project that we have underway. Identify ourselves specifically and first as leaders in that space, so that we can help those who are coming alongside us to see themselves in the change and implement implement. If we're not, it shouldn't be just change for the sake of change. It should take us through to some reason. And so it takes about, and then the opportunities that you end up having to present before you really come out of the team that you've surrounded yourself with, those resources that are around you. What opportunities can we take advantage of because we have the right people with us at the right time, doing the right thing in the right way. And then you'll see amazing results and outcomes.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Definitely. Great stuff.
Thank you, Yvette. Who's
Thank you.
next? Jim or Andrew? Let's see.
Okay. So I'm going to ask two questions that I want you to think about. The first question is, are your revenues growing and are you making enough money? Those are challenges of many small business owners, but as a business owner, those are key things that you should be working on. So now alongside with that, the second question is, what is your most important job as a business owner? So, you have a business, but what is your most important job? What do you need to be focused on? Surprisingly, a lot of business owners don't really know that. And so you want to be clear on that. And, the way I look at it, your most important job is S&M, not the S&M they're thinking about, but sales and marketing. And really, those things, if you're not selling and marketing well, then that's the key to your business. You don't have a business. You're not going to have a business that's growing, and you're definitely not going to be making enough money. So this is something you should be doing every day. And not only that, even the best sales people continually get training and learn about sales and marketing. So, many businesses owners are out there without much experience and knowledge about it. So they're just winging it. And if it's your livelihood, it behooves you to be as good as you could possibly be at sales and marketing.
Wow, love it.
Wonderful advice.
Prepared for S&M.
Can I answer one of those?
To Jim.
Can I answer one of those, Andrew?
Yeah, sure.
I think every day I am regenerating myself by empowering my employees to take ownership. I don't want them to have a job. They can go work anywhere. Mm-hmm. But when they are empowered to know that they have ownership, that their ideas, their decisions matter, man, now I don't have employees anymore. I have a team. Right?
Love that. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Seafood. That is so true. That is so true. And now we go into a drum roll for Jim. Yay!
Thanks. I appreciate the drum roll and I really appreciate everything everyone has shared. And for me, I would encourage, two things. I agree with Andrew. We need to have a plan as entrepreneurs. But primarily, I think we need to start our day with a good morning routine. I started my first company 28 years ago, and I got lost in the business. I got lost in the busyness of it. I was also mentoring, coaching, and pastoring in my spare time, and I lost sight of it. And 15 years ago, I almost died because I wasn't looking after me. And so I would always encourage entrepreneurs and business owners to start with a good morning routine. I do something physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually every morning. I got a 2-hour routine. And for most and some, we can't have 2 hours, but I would encourage you to find half an hour, 15 minutes, do something. If you got to get up half an hour earlier before the chaos of the day starts with your family, get up and do that, because that's going to help you. And then having a good solid plan. I work with entrepreneurs and authors to create these plans, these blueprints to help navigate through their life. And to find that balance. That's why I was so curious about finding that balance, because I agree that, you can't always have that balance, but it's that imbalance that causes us to come back to center. And what does that center look like for us? And so I encourage people to start with a good, solid morning routine, have a plan that works through that day, execute the solid things, the big things that need to happen, start with those first, and then end with a good solid routine at the end of the day as well.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, Jim, for sharing. I agree with you. Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that we definitely want to thank you guys for helping us launch, Business Prowess, right? So you guys rock. And really, really, Juanita and I, we are beyond thankful for you being here. But here's the thing. We want to extend to all of you individual time to come and spend with us. Come spend 45 minutes, maybe two of you at the same time. We would love to have more insights, because business is not just about you. It's about what you do and how you do it, right? And it's about the Jonathan said it over and over and over again. It's about your team, right? So I'm going to put it in the private chat for you guys to all come in and join us. Come in and share that beautiful mind of yours that you have. And one of the things I always say to people is, if you know something and you keep it, man, the world is lost without you. So come share.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. Each and everyone that joined us today, you are so special. You are exceptional at what you do. We value you. We value your time, your expertise, your heart for being here today. And you have truly made today a special day. It's the 10th of March, 2023. It's the launch of Business Prowess, and we are so proud to know you all. So thank you for joining us. God bless each and every one of you, your families, your businesses. And 2023 is the year. So as God makes the way straight for us, let's just all stay in prayer and support each other. And wonderful shows like this make it possible for us to learn. So thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you.
Yes. And join us every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Send us some comments, send us some tips, and come on the show, because we want to know. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Bye, everyone.